Yeah, no, I can't do this. Hey y'all, it's Heather, and I have been doing some shopping. I have so much new makeup here in front of me. I have the new Melt products. I have the Patrick Ta Barbie collection. I have some new concealer. Like, I'm ready. We're gonna play with the new makeup. I'm gonna zoom you in so that you can see nice and close how everything performs. To start off, I've primed my face with my Milk Hydro Grip Glow Illuminating Primer. It's basically just the Milk Hydro Grip, just with that colored, like, little bit of golden pigment. So you can see my skin is looking glowy. It's not totally like altering the color of my skin, nothing like that, but I do like to put on this milk primer and I like to let it set for a minute or two so it can get like on my skin, and then I'm ready for my foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and put on a lip balm. This one is from Peach and Lily. Now this and the primer were gifted to me, and I always like to let you know like when things were gifted. So some of these I purchased myself, a lot of the products that we're going to talk about, and some of them were gifted. This has a lot of ingredients like peptides and other things that my lips really like. It tastes really good. I've been using this for maybe like a month or so and I'm really enjoying it. This is not a new product, but this is a favorite and I want to go ahead and get this on my under eyes. It's the Sigma Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in medium to dark. I just love this. It helps kind of make my eyes look a little more awake, brightening effect to it, and it doesn't make my under eye feel like heavy or like I just have this product sitting there. It just really feels seamless. It feels like I have nothing on under my eyes. You can see like I'm breaking out a little bit on my forehead. I've got some darkness under my eyes. I just have not been sleeping well. I've been stressed. So I've got some stress breakouts, which, you know, I feel like can be good for testing new makeup because you can see how things cover and look over texture. I want to go ahead and fill in my brows. I'm going to start with my Ami Colé brow pencil. I got this when I went to Sephora. It was part of our like swag bag, I think, or we got it when we were walking around. I will link my Sephora vlog for you in case you want to watch. But I'm going to take this and I'm just going to kind of brush my brow hair. I'm going to follow the natural shape of my brow and just kind of outline a little bit to kind of like thicken them up. Not too much. I do have very light, thin, blonde eyebrow hair, especially out towards the tail of my brows. I bought this Made by Mitchell Brow Sludge Box Brow Palette. I've only used it a couple of times now, and I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it. It does work well to help me like fill in my brows, and it is pigmented. I think because I just typically go for pencils, sometimes powders I really like. I don't use this type of formula a lot. I think like it's easy for me to get carried away with it and my brows to get like too intense. I want to keep playing with it. I want to wear it like a few more times before I come back with my final thoughts, but I really like the color selection and that there are so many options. I'm gonna use my Merit, the Minimalist, what's the name? The Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick. I'm using the shade Khaki, and I've used this a few times kind of all over, but I haven't really wear tested it yet and seen like, okay, how does this perform? I've just used it on really quick days and I've enjoyed it, but I need to test it more, and I thought today I would just use it as concealer. I'm gonna go in with concealer first and then foundation, because even though I am having a little bit of breakout, even though I am having like some redness on my skin, I don't think my skin is looking bad. I think it's looking really nice. So I want to try to use like as little concealer and foundation as possible. So I'm gonna start by concealing. I'm just gonna do one under eye first and kind of let you see side by side, because this is a medium coverage natural finish product, and it says you can use it as foundation or concealer. They also sent their brush that goes with it. I think this is more for foundation, but I'm going to use it with the concealer. I really like the way this concealer is setting on my skin. It's pretty glowy. It's definitely that natural finish, not a satin matte or a matte, nothing like that. I think it's giving me nice coverage, definitely like a high medium coverage. I wouldn't necessarily say totally full, but I like the way it's looking, so I'm excited to wear it throughout the day. For the rest of my face, I want to go in with my pink Tier foundation. This is the Mask Fit All Cover Cushion Foundation. I do have a full video on this already. I'm comparing it to the silver and the red, the foundations that had the shade expansion, so definitely check that out if you want to see like a full day wear test, hear my thoughts, everything. But I'm going to use this today because I've been enjoying it so much. I even took it traveling with me. I just think it's that good. And I know that it has like a cushion, compact, like puff thing that comes with it, whatever you want to call it, the applicator. I prefer to use my own sponge or my own brush with this. That's just my personal preference. I have a new cream bronzer that I'm very excited to try, a little bit nervous. This is the Half Caked Cheek and Lip Tint. It's in the shade Chubby. I'm gonna swatch the shade and we'll see I don't know. I believe they described this as like a warm undertone, and it looks like, it looks like it may be more of like a red to pink undertone rather than like a warm, more golden undertone is what like I would think of. But you know, every brand describes things differently. It feels kind of thick, but I talked about in my Amazon top 10 video how much I was loving this liquid blush from the brand. So during the sales, the Prime Big Deals Day, I'm like, let me just try this. We're gonna see how it goes. This is my Sigma brush. I'm gonna work the product into my brush and apply it that way, and hopefully we don't regret it. I'm going to kind of just like press this on first and see, and hopefully we don't disturb the foundation underneath. Hopefully it doesn't pick up the product and like leave me patchy, because I would cry. Would I actually cry though? No. I just don't necessarily like want to walk around with patchy makeup all day today, but you know, I don't have time to like wipe everything off and start again, so it would have to do. I think it's looking okay. Like, it definitely kind of sheared out once I worked it in and kind of blended it a bit. I don't love this color on me, so that's not like a knock on the formula or anything like that. It just means that maybe I did not pick out the best shade. I do appreciate that it's sheer though, because yes, I definitely have some bronze, okay? Like you can see it from one side of my face. Like, this is where the bronzer is, this is where it's not, but it's not too intense. So I feel like by the time I set my face and everything, I can go on top with a bronzer, a powder bronzer that maybe matches my skin tone a little bit better. But at least I got to kind of try this formula out. I just think it's, you know, it's hard to tell when you don't like the shade of something. This has been on for a minute now, and it feels very sticky to me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like this is the one for me. Patrick Ta released a Barbie duo, and I had to buy it. I could not resist. I was so excited. Like, this is so cute. I love Barbie, okay? Like, listen, I can be 37 years old and still love Barbie. This is so cute. And I love Patrick Ta. So I was like, do I need another pink blush? No. Do I need another pink blush from Patrick Ta? Also no. But do I need a Patrick Ta blush that says Barbie? Always yes. Always yes. Look at her embossed in the pan. You have to see. When I first saw this though, I immediately thought of his holiday palette. I did not realize it was a Barbie collab at first. So this blush palette launched in 2023, I believe. Maybe, yeah, 2023, right? So this was a limited edition with limited edition blush shades, and I immediately thought of that duo right there. So did I just buy repeats? I'll swatch the She's a Barbie doll right here, kind of the cream and the powder. I'll put the cream from Holiday right here. It is actually brighter and more vibrant. And then I'll put the powder from Holiday right below Barbie, and it's actually like more cool tone. Yeah, okay, so the Barbie is definitely like more of a red pink, so that makes me happy, because initially I was like, wow, those look so similar, but I'm gonna buy it. I feel like, you know, I can't pass it up. So if you have this and you are worried that they're exactly the same, mine are not. I know Patrick Ta likes to do like powder and then cream. That is not my preferred method. So I'm gonna put this on. This is a new to me shade, but it is not a new to me formula. In this set, there's also the Major Volume Plumping Gloss in the shade Malibu Dream House. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that so that my lips can be plump by the time we're ready to do our lipstick. These glosses from Patrick Ta have a slight tingle to them. I can feel it on my lips, but it's not a burn that I just can't stand. I feel like I'm kind of a baby when it comes to these things. If my lips are irritated at all, I cannot use them, but if they're in good condition, like today, nothing like that, I can tolerate. I can never tolerate like a Too Faced lip injection extreme. Those are always too over the top for me. I bought the entire new collection from Melt, the new like Halloween collection with Universal Monsters. I had to have it all, okay? I couldn't resist myself, so I bought the full collection. This is a loose powder from Melt, brand new. I'm very excited to try it, but I'm also nervous. It's She's Alive translucent loose setting powder. I really love the artwork on the front. Like, I think this is so cute. And let's see, Bride of Frankenstein. I love that. So it's like a screw true on top. I have not swatched this. I want to see kind of how it looks. I want to put my finger in it, feel if it's like super finely milled. I did see that it's talc free. I personally love talc in my powders. I have oily skin, but we'll see. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Okay, it feels very fine. Let's see if it's actually translucent. Like, yeah, that's pretty translucent. I don't feel like it's really leaving a cast. I've got this on my puff, and I'm just going to press it in and see. Maybe I picked up too much on my puff, but I just want to set like right here on my chin, right here kind of where I get little lines around my mouth, which is totally fine. I'm not gonna set my under eye over here though, so that we can kind of see what it looks like. Melt says that this is a loose setting powder to bring your complexion to life with a flawless matte finish, and it's ultra fine, warm, translucent powder to lock in makeup and control excess oil. Let's see what we think. I am also using the mirror from the collection. Again, I bought it all, and I don't think that it's giving me any coverage. I definitely agree that it is translucent. Like it didn't really change anything. It just kind of set everything down, which is good. You know, it says that it doesn't have any color. Usually the setting powders I use have a tint of color because I like to have that little extra brightening or something with a yellow, or if I'm feeling fun, like a peach. But this is actually translucent, which I think is smart. Did it lighten things? Maybe just a little tiny bit, but that's pretty normal with the translucent powder. I do think it mattified. I don't know if it's gonna beat out my other powders. This is just the first time I'm using it, but I can definitely see, I mean, like, it mattified. It definitely mattified. I'm gonna go ahead and set the other half of my face and also my forehead with this powder so that we can kind of have everything set down, locked into place. For the perimeter of my face, I'm gonna buff in a little bit of my Denona powder. I don't even know if they make this powder palette anymore, but it has a lot of olive toned powders. So I'm just gonna buff that in to set the rest of my face where I'm not putting this translucent powder. Now that my face is set with powder, I touched up my brows a little bit, and we're gonna go in with the brow gel. This is the texture gel from Made by Mitchell, and this is called Brow Muck. I bought the shade Tiramisu. I'm like, that's kind of a interesting name, Brow Muck, but it's really pigmented, so I want to be super careful. I've only worn this one other time because it might be like a little too much for me, but I want to give it some more tries, see how I like it, and yeah, like, there it is. I feel like it's very like wet too when I first put it on, so I have to be really careful to make sure that I don't like accidentally put it where I don't want it, because it's that really like wet formula, which is kind of interesting for me. I don't think I have any other brow products that are like that. With this new collection from Melt, there were two palettes. So there was a collection with the Creature from the Black Lagoon. We have a quad, and then we have the Bride and Frankenstein eyeshadow palette. So I thought we would like swatch these, like live swatch these on my hand together, and then we'll decide what we want to do, because I really don't know what look I want to go for today. Let's start with the Creature from the Black Lagoon. This one looks so fun. I love the like metallic details, and it's really cute, really nostalgic. And then of course on the inside we have this really pretty green color story. I like that we have like a black and a more cream color. I say we have a green color story, but honestly it's two greens and a black and a like brown vanilla, I don't know. So I really like, I love green eyeshadow. It's my absolute favorite. I have a warm olive undertone, so I'm here for these types of tones. There is a print on the mirror. It's really hard to pick up on camera, but there is like a tiny little print, which I think is so cute. But we're gonna swatch these 4 shades. I want you to see kind of how they swatch. I'm gonna pick them up on my finger, and we'll just kind of put those right here on my hand. So that shade, and then we'll put a shade right here. Oh, that's really pigmented. Let me just smooth that out a little bit. I'll go in next with the black. I'll put that right here. That's pretty. And then last but not least, the only like shimmer shade in the palette is, oh, I love a lime green. I love a lime green. Ignore this little bit of texture on my hands. I was having an allergic reaction, so that's what it is. It's all better now. It just needs to heal, but look how pretty. I love a green. All you have to do to make me happy is throw in a green. Moving over to the Frankenstein palette. Let's swatch these. Oh, this one has 3 mattes and it has 5 shimmers. That makes me happy. I love a shimmer. All right, we'll go. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, let's look at this shade. That's beautiful. And right here. Oh, I like that. Okay, just those 3 colors right there. You could create a beautiful look. Let me pick up this matte shade right here on my pinky. Oh, I like that. Okay, I think we're gonna use this palette. I mean, I have more shades to swatch, but I'm just like so attracted just to those 4 shades right there. This is pretty, but I do feel like this color story over here is a bit more unique in terms of melt shadows than what I have in my collection. So let me put the shade right there. That's pretty. Okay, and that's good I put it there because you can see it's not the same shade as this green right here. Like you can see they're kind of different tones, right? And then I'll put this darker shimmer. Okay, I wish I could use every single shade from this palette on my eyes because this is really pretty. Let's put this shade here. I like that. Okay, I like that. Okay, okay. This is more of like a cool toned type of grayish. That's really pretty though. Okay, those like swatched so smooth. We're gonna use the Bride of Frankenstein palette. This is the one I wanna use, and y'all, we're about to get crazy here, okay? Like, listen, we're gonna do something that we don't normally do. I bought new eyeshadow primers. Listen, if you've been around here for a while, you know that I normally do not like testing new eyeshadow primers because nothing ever compares to my Sigma Ignite or my MAC Paint Pot in the shade Laying Low. I love those. Those are my go-tos, like Sigma Ignite being #1. I also really liked when Made by Mitchell did a collab with P. Louise. They did Blank Canvas, but they don't do that anymore, and he hasn't come out with that product in his own brand. So I'm going to try this new eyeshadow primer. I'm gonna put it on one eye. I'm gonna apply a matte. I'm gonna see how it looks. If the shadow is not performing well, I'm gonna take the eyeshadow primer off and we're gonna go in with like what I normally use because I don't want to hate my eye look because of my eye primer, you know? I've only swatched these. I have not worn them on my eyes, but when I swatched them, they were not moving. So that was vanilla, and then Fresh is supposed to be like not as bright. So there's those 2. I think we'll use vanilla today because I want to go for like a poppy eye look. So I'm going to use an eye primer that's lighter than my lid. I'm going to see. I know my friend Linda at Glitter Fallout really loves this, and it says it's a liquid eyeshadow and base. So let me get a brush and we're gonna try this out. I really hope this base works out for me. You can see I have deep set eyes. I also have oily skin, and yes, that includes oily eyelids. And my eyelids, the oil, will just eat shadows like a snack if I don't have an eyeshadow primer. I never ever skip using an eyeshadow primer. It is so important for me. So I'm just going to make sure that I have it on, and then I'm gonna blend it and we'll see how it does. I want to start off with this shade right here, that really pretty green. And all the brushes, everything I used today, it'll be linked in the description box. I'll do YouTube shopping, I'll do an pinned comment, everything that I can. I'm gonna press this right on top of my eye primer. I'm going right into my socket. If you have a crease, you can say crease. I just have so many creases that I like to say socket, and I'm going to kind of bring it up a bit. I'm gonna bring it low, be a little messy with it so it's kind of like an undone type of look, but I want to start with that really pretty green. I like that color. I think it's soft and not super intense, but still pretty. I know that Melt describes these liquid shadows or bases as a soft matte finish, but I definitely feel like there is a sheen to them, which surprises me. It does surprise me. So I don't know about that. Like, can you see the sheen? I mean, you probably could more before I put the shadow down, but I do prefer something that's more matte than this. But we'll see how it goes, and I can always like swipe on Like you can see how it kind of catches the light right there on my brow bone. I can always swipe on like a little bit of face powder or something to take that away because that's not my personal preference. But I don't normally set my eyeshadow primer, but if I need to do it right up here, I can. Let's use the darker base on the lower lash line. I'll also put it a little bit on the outer corner because I want to try both of these. I want to see how they perform. I'm gonna take the dark brown matte from the palette and I'm just going to pop that right on top where we put that darker base. I'm just gonna slowly build it up. It's such a dark shade. I don't want it to like get away from me, you know. I'm not wanting to go like super dramatic, at least not for me. So I'm gonna take and kind of buff and just blend it right on top of that primer. I'm gonna go back and blend in a minute too. I just kind of want to pack this on the primer, and then the same with the lower lash line. I'm gonna take that dark brown and I'm just going to lightly place that dark brown shadow and go over top of that primer. That's a really pretty brown shadow. I'm gonna blend more out here. Like, don't worry. You're like, girl, fix it. I will, okay? I just want to get the outline done. And I can always go back and blend more in a second. I'm gonna put Melt Cacao in my lower waterline to like match the shadow that we have so we can keep this like nice and deep and you know, like what is I don't know. But like you could do black or you could do whatever you want. I just thought it would be pretty to do something dark brown because we have dark brown on the lower lash line, but like more is more, right? So more dark brown, we'll put it right here. You could also do like a really pretty green color to match something like that. Do what you want. This is what I want to do, and I think it's so cute. I want to use this shade right here for my shimmer, so I'm going to pick it up on my brush like this. I'm going to make sure I get the shadow in my brush. I like to work my shadows in there, you know, like I want shadow on my brush. I'm just going to spray my brush with one little squirt of setting spray, not to get it wet, just to kind of like dampen the shadow. That way I can like get the most intensity, the least amount of fallout, everything I want. I'm holding my mirror so I can like look down into it, and I'm gonna put this shimmer. Oh, that's pretty. I know it's like a deep brown shimmer, but there's something so pretty about it and really, really smooth. But listen, okay, I got distracted. As soon as the shimmer came, I was like, oh, what? I'm looking down into my mirror, and that way I can kind of press the shadow on. And once I have all the shadow off my brush, then I will blend. And since I just got the shadow with a little setting spray, my brush is not wet. So I can go in and I can blend now that all that shadow is off my brush, and it's dry, so I can go back into the pan and pick up more from my other eye. I'm gonna go back with the first brush that I used to put down that beautiful green matte, and I'm gonna kind of blend where I brought that shimmer shade up high to give me a little depth. I don't mind having a little shimmer where you're not supposed to have shimmer. Like, I like to do what I want. I like kind of an undone look. So I'm just going to very lightly buff it. I'm gonna go back to that first green matte and just lightly buff that underneath the brown on the lower lash line now. Almost like you're not really gonna see like green down there. It's gonna be more that dark brown, but it's going to kind of like tie things together. Does that make sense? That makes sense, right? That makes sense to me, I think. So I'm just gonna blend like this, and then for the inner corner, we gotta do it. We gotta do it. We gotta do that pop of green, okay? Like, we have to. And I'm not gonna spray my brush because I didn't think about it. I was too eager. I was too eager to get this green inner corner highlight. I'm gonna wrap it around to the lower lash line too, and I am feeling it. Had I sprayed my brush or put down eye primer right there, it would be even more intense, but I kind of like this. Yeah, that is making me so happy. I'm taking just a little bit of my face powder and I'm just buffing along the edges, like kind of where the shadow and like my temple, the rest of my face meet. And I just have a tiny bit of face powder on my brush, and I just kind of blend like this to help it be like a little more seamless in the blend into like my lid where the shadow look is into the rest of my skin. Very little amount of powder and just a little bit of buffing. I'm taking a little bit underneath my brow bone too because I really don't want that to be as like shiny as it is. I want it to be a little more mattified. Hard Candy sent me their new Get a Grip Lash Primer and their Make It Double Mascara. So I want to test these out and try them. I'm not going to put on eyeliner so that I can see how this mascara works. Here is the mascara primer and the mascara just with one quick coat. I didn't put on any eyeliner or anything, and I will say I normally don't like mascara the first time I try them. I like for them to like be out for about a week or so where they get a little bit kind of like thicker and they just perform better. So this is what it looks like here on this side over here. I am going to throw on eyeliner, and I'm going to go in with these Ardell Winks half lashes. I love a half lash. I was so excited Ardell sent me these, and I'm going to just pop those on and I will be back and we will finish up the rest of our face. Y'all, I'm feeling my eye look. I love this little half lash. I'm just really into it. I did go on my top lash line a little bit on the inner corner with the new Lawless Easy Eyes Ultra Precise Liquid Liner in the shade Cocoa. It's brown because I didn't want to go with black. I just wanted to keep it very like brown. And we're going to go in with bronzer. So when I was at Creators and Friends, Physicians Formula gifted us their Butter Dream Team Face Palette. So I want to use, I don't know, like this bronzer looks like maybe not warm enough for me. It's the matte butter bronzer. I don't know what shade, okay? But maybe I'll mix it a little bit with this one right here, the Muro Muro bronzer, and then we'll use a little bit of the highlight, the butter highlighter right up here. So I'm going to grab a brush and we will bronze up my face. Yes, I did use the cream bronzer earlier, but I just want to kind of add a little bit of powder bronzer because I love to be a little extra. It's fun. Okay, I think this is looking pretty nice. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I want to go on with my Patrick Ta blush. I definitely think just the cream alone looks really pretty. It looks like very naturally flushed, if you know, like I had makeup on naturally, but I want to make it even a little extra. I don't know if I pointed out, but if you did not know, Patrick Ta has a cover that goes over the cream that keeps it clean. I love that. Okay, it's a detail that I love, but I'm going to take just a little bit of our little Barbie blush and tap it on. I don't want to go in a ton because this doesn't really match the vibe of the eye look, but you know, I want to wear it. So I'm just going to very, very lightly have my blush on this large, more fluffy brush, and that way we kind of like have a little bit of pink and it's gonna still look good with what we have going on our eyes. That's really, really pretty though. I like Patrick Ta because you can really like build these up for intensity, or you can kind of sheer them out. You can, I don't know, like I really like the formula. I know I've talked about him a lot on my channel, but I just think it's really a beautiful formula. Before I go in with my highlighter, I'm going to use my favorite, my Tear Mask Fit Makeup Fixer. I like to spray my face before highlighter sometimes. It just kind of like helps things mesh. Sometimes I'll do it before and after. Now I'll go in with my highlighter. This one is super pretty. I've never worn this before. Okay. All right. I like that. That's cute. She is very cute. She can stay. I like that. Okay, buff it in, buff it in. Buffing it in with my brush. I like that. I did buy the Dracula set from Melt as well. I bought the, I told you, I bought it all. I don't know why I have to keep saying, like, I feel like I keep saying it, but they have a red mascara and a liquid lipstick, a drip gloss, but I'm not feeling red today with this look, so we will save this for another video. The only thing from this collection that I swatched as soon as I got it was the Creature from the Black Lagoon Face Gloss, and y'all, I put this on my hand because I'm like, is this gonna dry down or is this gonna be cool? And I had it on my hand for like 6 hours and my hair was still sticking to it, so I don't want to use this. I'm probably gonna use that on a day where like I don't have anything planned for the day and I'm gonna test it and see if it ever dries down. It didn't on my hand. Maybe it will in my face. I don't know. But I did buy the Creature from the Black Lagoon gloss, Poison Waters. Is it a gloss? I believe so. Topper something. Listen, I want to wear a lip color though. And underneath that gloss, Smashbox sent me some of their new lip products. These are the Smashbox rated limited edition drops of unrestricted color. And the lip liner is what I want to use. I want to use this one right here, medium brown. I've never tried this formula from Smashbox. It's their Be Legendary Line and Prime Pencil. So I'm basically not having anything on my lips now. That lip mask, lip oil, I wiped off a little bit earlier. So I'm going to pencil in. Yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty shade, especially with this eye look. I'll just kind of outline my lips. I'm not going to fill them all the way in with the lip liner, just a little bit. These do feel pretty creamy. Normally I prefer a lip liner that's kind of not stiff. Stiff is the bad word, but in comparison to this, not quite as creamy. But this is not too soft right now. So I'm gonna have to keep you updated on what I think of this, how it stays in place, all of that. It's not quite as creamy as the new Fenty lip liners. First impression, of course, but it's not as firm as like a MAC or an Anastasia or One Size or something like that. So time will tell with this, but so far this color is looking really beautiful. I like that a lot. Let's do our gloss, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Let's do it. Let's get it and see how it looks. I've never swatched it, so I don't know. According to Melt, this is a one-of-a-kind formula with a clear gloss and bubbles of translucent green oil that leave your lips hydrated. I'm really happy with the way this look came together. I like the way it all looks together. Definitely some of these products I'm going to have to try again, like the liquid or the cream bronzer. I want to keep trying these liquid eyeshadow bases. We're going to have like more testing of things before I come back and give you like my final thoughts, my follow-up review. But I'm feeling the look. I really like my eye look. I like this lip color. I like the highlighter. Like I like the way it's working together. I'm here for it. Like this was a fun testing new makeup. Some things that I'm like, don't think I'm gonna like, and some things that I'm like, oh yes, I can't wait to do more eye looks and things with this palette. And the other palette, the Quad, let me know, are you interested in any of these products? Have you bought any of these products? Are you waiting to see reviews? Are you like curious or putting them on your wish list? I mean, the holidays are coming up. I'm excited about that. I just love talking about makeup. Let me know, are there any new makeup products that you want me to review? I always love hearing what you're interested in, and let me know what you liked or didn't like in this video, what products you're into or not into. Let's talk makeup down in the comments, and I'll see you soon.